So I am a Martech lover. I currently work for a company named Integrate, which is in the marketing technology space. We are actually pioneering precision demand marketing. For those of you that don't know what that is, find me on LinkedIn later. Happy to share. Where we sit today, kind of coming out of COVID, I hope. The past would have seemed to be 10 years ago, but in my mind right now, the past is much more acute. So I'm thinking the past is 18 months ago. So what did that world look like versus where it is today? So the past, in my opinion, was a very intimate type of world where, especially in B2B and in Martech, we craved being at events in person with people, networking, having conversations, comparing notes, presenting, sharing ideas. And that was a big part of what fueled sales in Martech and just relationships in Martech. And that is a distant past from where we sit today. Selling in Martech today is really fun, interesting, challenging, and very nimble because, again, the past is the past. And there will be some new normal. And I'm actually hosting my first in-person event next week in New York City. But that is going to be few and far between. So there will be some new normal that comes, in the future. And we can talk about that in a second. But where do we sit today? So what's key, for at least for me in sales, is building relationships and adding value to the folks that I speak with. And that's a lot more challenging to do in a world where this is all we have, with two people talking over video, sometimes not even over video. You're just having conversations on the phone or text. And so for me as a salesperson, going the extra mile to build the intimacy in relationships, in sales relationships, is really important. And I've invested a lot of time thinking, over the past 18 months of what the world looked like in the past, the things that I did and did really well, and how can I rechannel that energy to be just as effective in this virtual, very digitized world. So that's kind of where, I sit today. Every connection I make, I don't take for granted. People matter, and I always try to bring that human touch to the conversations I have and let the person I'm speaking to know how important they are to me as a person. And this is not just, another number, another conversation, that every interaction really matters. I hope I can predict the future. I spoke a little bit about this new normal. Who knows what that will be? I think the near-term future, like the rest of 2021, there's a lot of excitement about people that have been confined to four walls for, the better of 16, 17 months. And most people that I speak with, especially in the B2B Martech community, are anxious and ready to get out of their house, to have conversations, to see people again, but also feel a little uneasy. And so I think for me, on the sales side of things, I have to balance my excitement and my desire to get out of the house, to be with people with their needs and their wants, because not everyone is as excited as I am. Some people feel very vulnerable. I'm fully vaccinated, which was a personal choice, but other people aren't going to make that choice. And so I think the next 6 months, there's going to be a lot of volatility and a lot of thoughtfulness that needs to go into every engagement, again, having that human touch. Then maybe pushing out a little bit as we get into 2022. I do think the world is ready to get back to whatever that new normal will be. And I do think that we'll get there. There will always be, we'll always have that stamp on our hearts and in our minds of what everyone has lived through with this global pandemic. I speak with many folks in India today, and boy, it's hard and it's not getting any better, in the imminent future. So that's going to carry well into 2022. And our business is global. The people I talk to are global. And so that sensitivity and the reality, of what has hit our world has to be in every thought and every step that I make. So my hope is, in 2022, things do start to feel a little bit like they used to. I think in our business, events will start to come back. Maybe not quite at the level that they were pre-pandemic, but they will start to come back.